Good morning. So we are continuing with the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, yesterday we had completed Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 30. So where we learned that the Virat Swarups portion of the face that is there, we described the night and the day as two of his eyelids. The movement of his eyebrows is the Brahma, and similar personalities. Then we describe the palate of the soft and the hard palate, water, juices, essence of everything is on his tongue. All this was described to you so that you got an understanding of the portions of the body which represents a certain potency. Today we are going to go further than that and understand the rest of the being of his. So let us start today's satsang. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 31. They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of teeth are Yama, god of death, who punishes the sinners. The art of affection is his set of teeth, and the most alluring, illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance over us. So here again there is a description, the cerebral passages. See, the whole essence of a human being, the way he is designed, the main organ of the body where everything that you do in this world, any decision that you take, any memory that you have, any information that is there is stored in this small portion of the brain. Now, when we are representing the brain as a very, very good organ of the body, which takes a lot of decisions and many other things, we realize that there are spaces in the brain which cannot be distinguished. So today we are trying to locate different portions. See, in the olden books of science, we know the whole part was the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the medulla oblongata, and then all those organs were there, parts of the brain. And then we had something which is called the ridges, which you can see, and like, Agatha Christie used to say, I'm sure you remember that detective, okay, the gray cells of the brain. Now, what are these gray cells? What is this gray matter? Now, this gray matter is a very intellectual matter. It maintains a lot of information, stuff like that. There are passageways, there is, all these nerves are going and coming up and down, all those things are happening. In a recent case which is known to us, Rajma, who was affected in the brainstem. Now, brainstem is a place where the major, the nerves are going downwards. They enter the body. Now, when they enter the body, naturally they are carrying up and down. It's like an information passageway. Like you have the internet, everything going up and down here and there, like that. So think on those lines. What is he saying? The cerebral passage of the Lord are the Vedic hymns. See, when we say the Vedas, it is a framework of stuff around how things are, what they are, how they function, what they do. It is like literally there from the beginning of time. We don't even know. There is definitely a mention how the Vedas came into the picture and all that, but they already existed. So what does that tell you? That there is so much of information and there is so much of knowledge within our own brain structure that you cannot even imagine. It takes so many decisions, right? And when the brain stops functioning, person is dead. We say brain dead. Now, nothing works over there, it says. Now, where is it that all this knowledge which is required to operate in this world comes from? From this particular portion of the body. Then we come down and we understand that the jaws, the teeth, are the yama. So basically, it's a representation of how chewing happens. You know. So what does it translate into? Yama is the ultimate lawgiver. He is the one who decides, with good or bad and this and that, which hell, what hell, all those. Finally, at the end of the day, we all have to meet Yamdev. We all have to meet Yamdev. Now it depends. Again, we have led a very good life. Naturally, we will be given another domain to go to. But if we have done something wrong, naturally we have to go to a place where a lot of other things happen. So this is a kind of an understanding we have been given right from our childhood, right? Then the teeth are the set of affection. It's an affectionary thing. It's an affection. Surely? And then the most alluring thing is the smile. See, in most of the cases, I have not seen many gods smile. In other religions of this world, the gods are always grumpy. Okay? But the one God who is always smiling, and every time you look at him, his face appears smiling. That is Sri Krishna himself. Sri Krishna is the smiling God, and he represents that. It is the alluring, illusory material energy. The great ocean of material creation is just when when he looks at someone. Modesty is the upper portion of his lip. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord, and irreligion is the back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra Varuna are his two testicles. The ocean of his waist is his waist, and the hills and the mountains are the stack of his bones. This is a descriptive version of how the Lord, the Virat Swarup, is designed. So here everything is given in such a manner that we get an understanding of the subject. In your being also, your own body, everything that is mentioned over here is represented. We actually do not understand this representation. We think of ourselves as a human being. And as a human being, we consider many parts of the body as crass. You see, when it is mentioned, now I want you to think about it. Brahmaji, who generates all beings in the material world, is his genitals. The moment the word genitals comes, we say, the way we behave, that is hypocrisy. In Hinduism, in our religion, no part of the body is considered bad. There is nothing like bad or good. It is required. Today, think about it. How can the regeneration happen? You understand what I am saying? The regenerative power that human beings have happens to be in a place which you may dislike it. You may say, oh, that is not it's a taboo place. We teach our children those kind of things. But that is not correct. Again, the Mitra Varuna. This is one of the entities which are extremely important for the progression of mankind. It is a liquidy kind of a stuff that gets secreted out of this organ. Isn't it important? See, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of it, but understand one thing. The creation of the sperms and other fluids in the testicles and other places, is it not important? If it is not created, if it is not flowing, things cannot take place. And that is the reason why they are important. So we consider them in a godly plane also. The Mitra Varuna. Mitra and the Varunas. The ocean is his waist. The hills and the mountains are the stack of his bones. O king, the rivers are the veins in the gigantic body. The trees are the hair on his body. And the omnipotent air is his breath. The passing ages are his movement. And his activities are the reaction of the three modes of material nature. See how beautifully it has been described. I have been telling you in so many years since I have been doing my satsangs, that the veins in your body, that's all the organs, all the pipes that are there in your body which are carrying the blood to and fro. That means whether they are the arteries or the veins, they are nothing but the rivers. And when they are meeting at some places, they are called the Triveni Sangam. I'm sure you have heard about this kind of a thing, right? The trees are the hair on his body. So all the hairs that are there on the body, whether here, there, everywhere, they are the nature, the mother nature with the different types of, fauna that is there, flora and the fauna that is there. Then, his breath, the omnipotent air is his breath. Breathing, whatever the breath is coming out and going in, that is his breath. The passing ages are his movements. That means everything that is going on in his life, suppose he's passing from, like we have from 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like that. The passing of the ages. Ages, how many ages are there? Many of them, isn't it? So every batch of 4 ages there. That is, we have the 4 yugas which are coming, going. Then they are coming and they are going. They are coming and going. And every yuga is repeated after the 4th one. Right? Agreed? So, his activities are the reactions of the 3 modes of material nature. So, whatever action that happens in the body of the Virat Swarup are the material modes of the nature. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Oh, best among the Kurus, the cloud which carry water are the hair on his head. The determination of the days or nights are his dress, and the supreme cause of the material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. I am sure now you will understand when a person is said he is a lunatic. See, we say these words, but we don't know. Here in the scriptures, the word Luna is mentioned over here. That is why the phases of the moon are always considered affecting human beings. Right? Have you noticed, in all these movies that are there of this strange creatures of the dark, they have shown, the moon, the full moon day, and then the Amvasha that comes in, then things happen and all that. Now you may say, oh, that is all fantasy. No. It is not fantasy. It is how we are affected. Human beings are affected. And that is why the moon is a part of our own being. Right? So here, what are we saying? So the day and nights happen, which are a part of the dress. Now, do we change the dress in the night? We wear what is called as the night dress, isn't it? We don't wear the same clothes outside. When you take a bath and you go outside, you are wearing clothes which are meant for outside, clothes which are meant for home, clothes which are meant for sleeping. So all these are different. In the similar manner, the Divine Lord is also considered like that. Time of the day is equal to the type of dress. Got the point or no? The supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. The reason why this material world has come into the picture is his intelligence. In your being, intelligence by itself is housed in a particular domain. Okay? Now, it is the 4th layer. The 4th layer in your being. As you know, there are koshas. Koshas means layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, the final layer of the subtle body, inwards, is the intellect, which houses the intelligence. It is literally that which keeps on giving you knowledge, information, how things are to be done, what is to be done, blah, blah, blah. All this knowledge base is in that place. Right? Now we go to the next verse, verse 35. The principle of the matter, that is the Mahat Tattva, is the consciousness of the omnipotent Lord as asserted by the experts, and Rudradev is his ego. The horse, mule, elephant and camel are his nails. Wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord. Now we are describing other things in his world. So, the Mahat Tattva is his consciousness. See, we should be doing a scripture which is called the Tattva Bodh. This is Adi Shankaracharya has done this. Somewhere in the future we should be, I will definitely try to attempt to do Tattva Bodh. It's a very tiny scripture, very, very tiny scripture. In that all these definitions are given. We should be trying to understand these definitions. Maybe in the future, when we have the time, we will do that. Okay. So the principle of the matter principle is called the Mahat Tattva. So is the consciousness of this omnipresent Lord as asserted by the experts. And Rudra Dev is his ego. Rudra, the third portion of the Trinity, right? Which we also call many a times, Rudra is mixed around with Shiva. We mix these two, No, Shiva is Shiva, Rudra is Rudra. There are various Rudras, right? So they are the destructive energies of this world. So it's a representation of the destruction, the causes and the effects of the destruction that happens. Because right after that is again regeneration. After destruction comes regeneration. As you know, recycling happens in this world as well. So the new world again comes into the picture, but after destruction. So Brahma Dev's job again restarts all over again. It is not restart, it's always doing the same thing. Alright? And then there are various animals that are mentioned over there. Like, horse is mentioned. See, every creature is represented by the head of that creature. Like, say for example, like we have in the movie Lion King. I'm sure you have heard of this movie called Lion King. You have seen there is a head of that particular, entourage that is there. Alright. And recently there's a new movie called Mufasa or something like that. So you will understand the Lion King is there. Like that. The horse has his own head. Okay, Uchishrava is the name of that. So he represents the entire race of the horses. He has his own heaven also, by the way. Not that he doesn't have. See, everything in this world has their own heavens, has their own places to go to. So, then varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense. Manu, the father of the mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human beings like Gandharvas, Vidyadhara, Charanas and angels all represent his musical rhythm, and demonic soldiers are representation of his wonderful prowess. See, we were discussing right in the beginning only, I told you about every creature in this world. Everybody looks like human being, isn't it? Huh? So if you go to some of these very strange kind of YouTube videos, you will find that Anunnaki and all these strange creatures are also there. Now you may say, how can that be? No. They take human form. Shapeshifters, isn't it? Huh? Now you may say, sir, there are no shapeshifters over here in this world. Who told you that? They are very much amongst us. They represent that entire generation of creatures that exist in this world. Though they look like human beings, but they are not human beings. Some of these humans who have abilities, if you look at their abilities, they are very unique to them. Very unique. Some people, those who are musicians, have you noticed how they can create music? Have you noticed it? Some are dancers. They literally are wearing dancing shoes all the time. Have you noticed that also? So this is how it is. So they are creatures, these are the people who have taken a human form, but they come from the various heavens like Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Karanas and all these. These are, and there are angels also amongst us. Who said there are no angels? So all these creatures do exist. So if you are seeing a serial where you find that the devil is taking a shape and the angels are coming and all that, we think it is all bogus. No. They are there amongst us and then they behave like normal human beings. Please remember one thing very clearly. Nobody has been given the memory of who they are. Did you understand what I said? Those people will not be given the memory that they come from this domain and they are that. It is that they have to find out for themselves. Every individual has to find out for themselves who they are. That is why the question, who am I? You have a job to do, which is called Swadharma. Why are you here in this world? For what reason? See, it is not so easy to find out. Think on those lines. You have heard of this person called Chandragupta Maurya. Have you heard of this person? Chandragupta Maurya. Now, Chandragupta Maurya became one of the greatest kings of India. But was he someone who was a kingly person? No. No. He was a person from the streets, a common man who was picked up by his kingmaker master. A kingmaker. Do you understand? There are kingmakers. In this world, there are lots of kingmakers. If you actually understand history, you will understand that even Genghis Khan, the Mongol, who went and captured all the way from Mongolia right up to Turkey, and he sent his army to India as well and conquered literally half of India. He was also a street person. He was not a kingly kind of a person. He never had that. But he had a mentor who made him the king, the ruler of that land. Similarly, you will find that Chandragupta Maurya also was appointed in a similar manner. We have done it in this scripture. They are called Rajgurus. You know what a Rajguru is, right? In a similar manner, the head of the Tibetan Buddhism, is appointed in a similar fashion. There are groups of people who go out in search of the reborn, the rebirth of that particular soul. Then that person has to undergo many, many years of training. Like the current Dalai Lama has undergone many years of training under hundreds of masters. I am sure you know that I have been trained by one of his masters in Tibetan Buddhism. So I have also learned, not that I have not learned. So in my world also, I have to learn from many masters. My master, who is the ultimate, that's the final guru, is Dattatreya himself. So anyway, that's a side story. But let us come back to this. So the kingmakers are different. So we have Kautilya, Chanakya, all right. Even in the Persian region, where Persia is, where Babylon and other places were, there also there was a kingmaker. His name was Zarathustra, or Zoroaster as we call him in India. Cyrus and various other kings were actually created by him with his own hands. One of the greatest masters of all times. It is possible. So that is the reason why they all come from different domains and they do not have any idea who they are. You yourself don't have any idea who you are. You see, till you do not meet your own master, till you do not have a Rajaguru or somebody who is going to train you into who you are, there will be no idea of who you are. Please remember this. So you have to meet your master. He will guide you in the process. Please understand, the regular schools and colleges and all don't even know who you are. They consider you as a riffraff, somebody from the roadside. Every person is there. And you go to some fancy schools, then you belong to a very rich category. You know, you will be coming in a big car, Mercedes-Benz and Maybachs and all that. That is different. That is stupidity. That is only driven by money. No, no, no. Leadership, skills of becoming great. This only the Supreme Masters know who they are. Have you seen that movie where, I don't remember the name. He creates that big circle like this in the air. Huh? And he is a person from one of these Avenger movies. Huh? He's a great grandmaster, right? So I don't remember his name. He's a British actor. The one, yes, Dr. Strange. Yeah, you're right about it. So he has also taken training from these masters. Like that, you have to understand. The masters train. They are very secret training camps where these great people are trained. So now think about it. So there are various people in this world who are hidden talent, like music, fighting martial arts, singing, dancing, mathematics, the mathematicians that are there, great mathematicians were there in India, scientists, archers, you name it. All these are having hidden talents. They need somebody to guide them towards their goal. They come from these different planetary places, from their domains, okay? And that is what is there. His musical rhythm and the demonic soldiers are representation of his wonderful prowess. So there are the demonic soldiers also. So you will find that, in Star Wars you have seen the one with the black dress and all that. You may say, oh, how can he be? Somebody is wearing white color, those masks and all that, and then there is somebody, Darth Vader, that noise that he makes and all. Well, you may say, oh, there cannot be. Of course there is like that. The Virat Purusha's face is the Brahmanas, the arms are the Kshatriyas, thighs are the Vaishyas, and the Shudras are under the protection of his feet. All the worshipable demigods are also overtaken by him. It's a duty of everyone to perform sacrifices with feasible goods to appease the Lord. Now, basically when we say the caste system, actually it's not the caste system. It is the job system, the work that is there, assigned to everybody. Think about it. There is a professor, there is a very great professor in a college. All right. Now this person may be a highly intellectual person. What does he do? He teaches people because that is his job, right? So he belongs to a category. The warriors belong to a category. Everybody has a category to go to. The business people are different. Like suppose you go to a Harvard Business School. Do you think they are going to teach you astronomy or something like that? Or astrology for that matter? No. So that is different. This is different. And every place there is a difference that is there. Please understand this. So everywhere different types, workloads, jobs, functionalities are mentioned, right? And that is the reason why you will find that the distinction in the category is there. In an office also, you have seen there is a super boss, maybe a CEO. The CEO's potential is much more than a simple clerk's potential. A clerk who is there may be doing a very simple job. And there is someone up there who is doing much greater job, his decision making capacity or managing the company is different. That is why it is the distinction that is made. So people mistake it for what is called as a caste system. There is nothing like a caste. You are already in a caste system. Understand this. You are already, if you are working in some company as a CEO, you are always the high caste, isn't it? So it is always going to be like that. So think on those lines and don't think in terms of the narrow-minded caste system that is there. There is nothing like a caste system. Today's day and age, the caste system should not be taken into consideration. So differentiation in the body, different portions of his being are described in this manner. So gods are also represented. Human beings doing different jobs are represented in different portions of his body. So I'm not going to go to the depth of this, but you have to understand worshipable demigods are also overtaken by him. So he is a representation of even the demigods. They are there somewhere in his being. Alright? The duty of everyone is to perform sacrifices. Now these sacrifices doesn't mean the sacrifice which they show in the films, doing all the swaha. No, nothing like a swaha and all that. Sacrifice is every portion of your body is a kind of a pit where we offer something. Like the eyes, we offer sight, we see things. Nose, a place from where we breathe. Mouth, a place from where we eat. So a sacrifice happens and every person's job is to offer this sacrifice. So for the mouth, for the stomach, we need the food. Without the food, we cannot be offering these sacrifices. Hope that is clear. I have explained to you the gross material gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead, that is Sri Krishna. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind in the form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world. So what are we supposed to do? Those who are interested in liberation, those who are interested in the spiritual world, want to be a spiritual person, should always meditate on this form of God which represents different things. The Divine Lord, we cannot understand if it is nothing. That means if I have to consider God as the unmanifest, I don't know what to hold on to. What is unmanifest? I don't know. I have to pray to something, If I say there is a beautiful ghost, how do I know there is a beautiful ghost over there? Ghost is invisible. Can you understand what I'm saying? I need to see it. I need to experience it. And no ghost is beautiful. Okay? They will scare my pants away. You know that. So better to be very scared of the ghost. In a similar manner, God cannot be represented as an unmanifest simply because I cannot see, touch, feel or experience him in that manner. So I need to seek some kind of a form. So can I make him into a massive form with all the energies, all the powers, all the gods, everything within one being? That is what is being mentioned by Sukadev. He is telling the king, Parikshit, this is how you have to meditate. Meditate on a form which represents everything. So one should concentrate his mind upon Sri Krishna, who alone distributes himself in many manifestations, just as an ordinary person creates thousands of manifestations in a dream. One must concentrate the mind on him, the only all blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. So it is important for you to actually understand what kind of a God that we are praying to. So the representation has to be huge, humongous, big, having all the powers, the beauty and everything in one being only. So it is described as a Virat Purusha. Because Arjuna asked for this manifestation. Can you manifest and show me your form? The worldly form to which I can be looking at. And when the form was exhibited, Arjuna got scared of that form. So he says over here that concentrate your mind on this form alone. And the one which has every potency as mentioned in the universe, whether it's the sky, the earth, the volcanoes, the animals, the birds, the rivers, the everything that you want, all kinds of human beings and gods and demons and whatever else, everything is there only in that one form. So it is a representation of that form. Consider him as himself is so many manifestation, just as an ordinary person creates thousands of manifestation in a dream. So in a dream, you too have to create so many manifestations yourself, isn't it? Like that, you manifest yourself as X, Y, and Z all the time. Similarly, we have to be manifesting this divine Lord in our mind like this. We must concentrate the mind on him, the only all blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. So, you should not be misled in a sense that your mind can create a lot of nonsensical stuff, isn't it? So that your mind should not get misled. So we have to think of this one form only, and so that we can hold on to something and pray to it. So we have come to the end of the first chapter, and we will stop over here.
Recording.